Good morning, Anna. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing pretty good, yeah. What brings you in today?
Well, there's nothing incredibly major going on, but I will say one thing I have been struggling with lately is my sleeping patterns. And I don't know if that's due to stress or if my eating habits have something to do with it, or exercise, or things along those lines. I do tend to go on my phone before I go to sleep, so that's probably not very healthy, and that might be a habit I need to break. But I was wondering, do you have any input that I
Okay,
can
yeah.
use?
Yeah, it sounds like you kind of want to work on like your sleep patterns or maybe find some suggestions. I might have a technique that we could try to maybe help you with this process. Would you be interested in that?
I would.
Okay, yeah. Let me get everything set up and then we'll start from there. Okay, so the technique that I figured would be best for your scenario is the sand tray technique. And basically what this is going to do for me is you are going to draw a picture, use any figures you want, or just kind of show me like what exactly like you're going through. This provides a visual for me to help you understand what you're going through, and you get to create whatever you want, whatever's in your mind, and there will be no judgment. This is your chance to express yourself, and this will kind of help me get to know you a little bit more. And like I said, use whatever you want, take all the time you need, and when you're done, we'll debrief and kind of see how we can move on from here. Does that sound okay?
It does.
Okay. Okay, well, I appreciate you letting me observe this whole process. Now, kind of looking into what you have provided here, kind of walk me through like this world you've created that kind of demonstrates your sleeping patterns. I noticed you used a couple figures, and then I kind of noticed you moved the sand around a little bit. Kind of walk me through that process. Tell me a little more about that world and just what that experience was like for you, putting this out for a little visual.
Yeah, this is a super light replication of my home and my neighborhood, because where I live there's a man-made reservoir that's just like clear water, and it kind of changes with the seasons. And so it's the street I drive down every day, and I'll see animals or maybe sometimes people on it, which I guess is why I use the figure, because it separates one piece with houses from the other piece where my house is in my neighborhood. So I don't know, maybe that's a matter of just being consistent and seeing the same thing over and over. I am a creature of habit for sure. So maybe that has to do with sleeping and developing a routine that you can actually stick to and not feel confused every evening wondering like, what do I do so that this can improve a little bit more. But yeah, like I said, a very loose replica.
And now that you've made these observations for yourself, how does that make you feel in wanting to maybe create better habits for your sleep?
It feels good. And I think it's been in the back of my head for a long time. I just haven't taken upon myself to make the changes yet, just because I was still diving in as to the causes to why these things happen. But there's no time like the present, so it might be time to alter a few things with my diet, with my screen usage, and just how I use my free time in general, because my schedule also changed. So that's another factor. What I was used to with work and school has now shifted. So those are things to think about.
Okay.
I would say.
Yeah, and I appreciate you sharing that. So kind of based off of everything you just shared, like what words would you use to kind of describe like this current experience?
Therapeutic.
Okay.
Reflective. I would use those words, because similar to perhaps for some people using a journal or using like making collages of different things, just kind of having that free time to express and do whatever you want I think you can learn a lot about yourself that way, especially when there's no pressure. And you can just dive into things and it just feels natural and easy. So therapeutic, absolutely.
Well, great. Thank you for participating in this activity, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.